city or board of canvassers office specifically to like promote the declaration dates?
We will. Right now, working with our communications team to put out a special, button on our website that goes right to school committee information, for instance. I'm working with Aaron to get the maps. The maps up there, the declarations will be up there. We put a guide together for the first time, a local candidate guide. That will be up on our website also, outlining the and we put a nice guide together and outlining the process. And keep in mind, there's no primary, so that's just candidates who run right through November 11th.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much for all you do for the city. Thank you very much. We appreciate the presentation and that's for the crowd. Okay, now we're going to move on to your licenses and vital statistics together. I don't know. Do we do them together?
Yes, Madam Chair. So vital stats and bureau licenses are both overseen.
Okay.
And there's no operational expenses in vital stats. It's all in the bureau license budgets. It's so vital stats just salaries.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate it. Who was swearing in? You want to swear in this name?
Stephanie Wilkes, licensing administrator and city registrar.
Thank you. That was and then I'm going to, before we start, I'm going to mark our exhibit as exhibit number 34. We have a motion. Right. Motion made by Councilor Handball, seconded by Councilor Graves. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. Director.
Okay. First of all, public bureau licenses. Total revenue is budgeted at $1,676,100. This is an increase of $62,700, and that's primarily due to the budgeted liquor license revenue. Salaries in fiscal 25 are proposed at $630,954, an increase of $18,215. There are no proposed organizational changes in this department. Total benefits in fiscal 25 are proposed at $332,567, an increase of $20,770. Total services in fiscal 25 are proposed at $103,700, a decrease of $5,850 from the 24 budget. And this decrease is primarily due to reductions in fees not classified. And you'll notice some increases to posted advertising, dues, and marketing, which had previously been budgeted in the vital statistics budget. Total supplies in fiscal 25 are proposed at $55,500, a decrease of $25,300. This decrease is primarily due to reduced budget for machinery and equipment, and there are some small increases in supply items that were previously in the budget. There's no capital in bureau license. And then moving on to vital statistics, revenue in fiscal 25 is proposed at $212,500. This is a decrease of $48,000 from the 24 budget. And this decrease is primarily due to a reduction in anticipated certified copy revenue, and that is supported by trend. Total salaries in fiscal 25 are proposed at $209,682, an increase of $9,884, and there are no proposed organizational changes in this department. Total benefits in fiscal 25 are proposed at $144,430, a decrease of $14,783. And total services and supplies are both budgeted at $0, and both represent a decrease of $9,500, and that they've been moved into the bureau license budget.
Ms. Wilkes, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Just as a brief overview, licensing is responsible for creating just under about 40 different license types throughout the state of Providence, as well as the oversight in compliance with those licenses. vital records, primarily responsible for the issuance and maintaining of vital records, so like birth, death, marriage records, as well as marriage licenses and municipal entities. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Okay, would anyone like to start? I'd be happy to start. I'll just ask some questions. I feel like we're grinding. I'm a little tired. I am interested in your organizational chart, so in particular, I would like to know what your clerks do. Your 3 senior clerks and your chief clerk.
So our team senior clerks are responsible for primarily the entertainment applications that come into the office, as well as the food, holiday, and individual licenses. So things from private detectives, florals, bouncers, things of that nature. The chief clerk in licensing is mainly responsible for all of the advertised hearing applications. So those are things like liquor licenses, motor vehicle repair, secondhand store, things that require a much lengthier review and in fact an advertised hearing. So reaching out to the Providence Journal, getting those advertisements in. They do work together collectively, however, that's the main difference between the 3 clerks.
And I see that you have 3 inspector position and 1 is vacant. How long is that vacant?
About a year.
And why?
So the first inspector that we have is a daytime inspector, that's the normal Monday to Friday, either to 4:30. Our second shift inspector is a Tuesday through Saturday schedule, so that was the next position to be filled. We had a little difficulty filling that originally, so we did obviously find and hire the appropriate candidate. And in turn, we were configuring between our department, police department, that handle license enforcement, how the second time inspector would fit into a lot of our ongoing work on motor vehicle licensing compliance as well as noise. So as we work through that, I am intending on posting the 3rd now inspector.
Okay, so we have got 1 inspector that's doing the daytime 8 to 4:30 shifts, and then 1 inspector during the Tuesday to Saturday. What time?
3 to 11.
3 to 11. And the inspector that you try and hire for a year will be what again?
I believe that would be a main cross between the 2 shifts, day and nighttime inspector, nighttime inspector, depending on the nature of the work needed at the time.
And the trouble hiring someone, I would expect that we really need to have a full complement of inspectors in order to do the enforcement, correct?
Correct, this will be the first year that this office has had 3 inspectors, it's historically been 1, so we are now at 2, so working in the 3rd would be a new venture for us.
We've only had 1 inspector?
Yeah.
For how long?
I believe until last year, when we hired the second shift inspector.
I one time we had 2 of them.
Yes, I don't believe it was the second to the 5th, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll clarify that the second one has been but my understanding is that filling and retaining these positions is a challenge. So we have had 1 on staff, but we have always had funding and the availability, at least while I've been doing the budget, to have 2. Last year, we added a 3rd. So I think part of the challenge that we're facing right now is this is a position that's hard to recruit for, it's hard to retain for, and we've added another one. So I think right now, the director is looking to figure out a way to like create efficiencies in the office and figure out what works best for this 3rd position so that we're not just constantly turning over inspectors.
Yes.
I guess I'm like, just because I don't know this work very well, like what's hard to recruit and retain about the inspector? Like, is it a specific skill set or not high enough pay or like?
Skill set, and I would say the schedule for the second shift inspector as well is incredibly difficult. It's not very desired or schedule. for many folks at this level.
Yes, perfect.
And as I can recall, the issue also is that they're just inspectors at night, they don't have no enforcement authority.
Yes,
So basically, is the police that was out there after a certain period of time, after like 9 o'clock, when it gets a little bit heavy out there. That's where the challenge comes.
that is 100% correct, thank you.
I think that was also the discussion last year when
Yeah.
we didn't, or,
Just a clarity question on that point.
Yes, Councilor Sanchez.
So do the daytime inspectors have some sort of enforcement power that the nighttime inspectors do? No, they all have,
stupid answer that has changed.
No.
it's all the same.
Correct.
Pretty much all they do is they, write the tickets. They license.
Yes, please.
I know that, like last year you're working on the system, right, a notification. Has that improved in terms of the, computer systems, in terms of having all the departments, being notified when someone, applies for a license? And also, the notification to city council people in their, if that was put into place, why don't we discuss that?
Yes, so as for the application revisions, I continue to do that on a rolling basis as of this morning. I'm continuously updating, moving in other departments. As a general overview, we pretty much at this point have every department as a touch point on the application, from fire to DIS to police, ACT if needed on them. So that is 100% done and certified, but I continuously review and update just in terms of user accessibility, things of that, maybe changing language, making things a little clearer for applicants. So our system is, I've been getting good feedback on all the application types. And I'm sorry, the second part of your question.
Second part was that, there was a discussion of putting some mechanism within the system.
That's right, to
To
council.
notify the local council person
Mhm.
when any, the application is submitted in the wards.
Yes, so our chief clerk, Bellamy, she is responsible for all the advertised hearings and the nature. She sends the list before it's sent to Kroger to, I believe the council staff and a few other members. of the team. So I'm not sure how that's going to be distributed.
So is there? Obviously, we don't have that yet in the system. So is that something that can be worked on? Last year, you guys are gonna look at to see how the programming could be revised where an application that we're part of the notification, right? If you're notifying the fire department or police, then at least there's a notification for a city council person to be able to know, hey, there's gonna be a carnival in the ward or a
Okay. I
big block party, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that can be worked in, yes, now, yeah, we could,
So, yes, that could be worked in,
yeah, absolutely.
because I know last year we talked about it, but, so. What time frame we can see that, something like that?
I'm happy to talk through legit if they wanted to be assigned with one member of the team. They are lengthy applications and they do, every touch point gets a notification, so it may make sense to have one person dedicated to our equal licensing applications. We can add as many as possible. I mean, as many as you'd like, but I can have that turned around within a month or so, less than a month.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that, thank you for reminding us for one about this conversation. It's so important, and I don't believe we're getting in contact. I mean, unless, I'm sorry, Councilor Sanchez?
But that was actually gonna be like one of my questions. So like what interaction with the carnival would your department have?
A carnival specifically?
Yeah, like say a carnival wants to open up a neighborhood, cause like that's where I get kind of confused, cause I know like DPW does permits, I know ACT does permits, like where does your department interact with like a carnival event?
So think of if you're closing a street or you're impeding on public property to a degree of a carnival, that's gonna be a special event application. So those are run out of ACT. Those are the applications that, again, have almost as many signups as we do. That's police and fire, and they have so many DIS. So Carnival will go through as a special event application, and each department has their own section, so to speak. So the entertainment piece and the physical actual Carnival rides will fall under the board of license section of the special event application.
So it sounds like this needs to be like a conversation with the administration, not one specific department, because like. Somehow in all of these applications, like we need to make sure like a counselor is aware. Cause I'll be honest, like I wasn't told on the specific approval of the carnival in my neighborhood, like I think it was fine, 'cause I had conversations with. Folks, so I mean, it was good, but I did have some security concerns after last year. And that's kind of when I had to run around the last like 2 weeks and make sure police was there and safety, so. But I mean, we were able to work it through it, but just in terms of being more proactive and it just being part of the application system as a whole, it seems like we have some work to do.
And I also, I mean, in terms of licenses also, you know, we're handing out what's, you know, applications for, you know, just to be aware of what applications are pending. So I'm gonna ask our director of policy, Karen. Would you be able to, you know, work on that or get some sort of, maybe some sort of notice, I don't know, I would think it'd be board license and also you know, some way for the counselors to be notified if there are pending applications or events. I appreciate it. Yes, Counselor. I think even some like clarity of process. I know Foster had helped me last year and it's kind of close, which is like really confused what the process should be for. Like if they go on the website and like, what? Like it's really, it's like very, I doesn't have a question.
Yeah.
He's separated in the process, because I think they apply a license and they're like, oh, this wasn't right, I guess I can just throw a block party and sort of like blocking out streets and solve horses, and I was like, yeah, that's not the process. Anyway, this whole thing, so let's avoid that. But I appreciate your willingness to work.
Absolutely, yes, I love that.
Yeah, I just wanted to emphasize, I think that, now with the technology. That it's possible that you can work on something in code or something that where it gets notified. You know, a notification to the city council, because I think whether it's at the end, whether it's in the middle, but at least to be able to have that notification. I think that's what's. For that certain, because I know we went through. Couple of issues last year and sounded like that has not been modified. So we work on that now and.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
I just want to praise you and Delphus because I've dealt with both of you one-on-one on weekends, calling nighttime, to try to get things done. And you've both done very well. And on a separate note, I work for the Department of Business Regulation. And they praise Providence because with food trucks, all the licenses that you go to, that I've always heard that Providence is easy to deal with, because we'll call these other smaller cities and towns. They have no clue what they're doing, people don't know. So they're like, oh, it's Providence, call Stephanie. You know, like, so I just wanted to reiterate on both ends that the DVR, I hear that the good things there too.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Councilor Briggs.
How long has the senior clerk, vacancy? Yes, a vacancy for your senior clerk, how long has that been? Great.
Oh, I'm sorry, we actually just offered that position, filled that position on Friday.
Oh,
Last
okay,
week.
great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anything else for anyone? Yes, Councilor Senator.
I don't wanna bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up. Entertainment licenses. When's the last time we issued entertainment license as a city?
The last time we issued one,
Yeah, like to like
probably an hour ago, maybe, they're,
I guess maybe there's different type of entertainment license, so like to an establishment where they could have like live music.
so the board meets once a week on Thursdays, all of the entertainment, whether it's on consent or to appear, are heard on Thursday, so right after that, you're in the entertainment license gets issued. I don't know, I understand the question.
So I know there is a need, I guess, from businesses in the city. We have an ordinance in the draft that we're trying to work with. I don't know if you've been part of those conversations.
Yes, some
so-
of them, so that's more to address, I believe, my understanding is. The problem is a lot of the establishments that look to have entertainment or apply for entertainment are in fact not zoned to have entertainment. So we can, if the board can't issue or hear an entertainment matter or something that they can't issue. However, incidental entertainment, I'm sorry, is a separate category that doesn't require a
Specific
license.
zoning.
Right, correct.
That's good clarity. Thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to add that. Being quite aware of all those issues. And I know that Aaron, our senior policy director, and you guys are working on how to modernize. the
Yes.
License, right? Because so many cultures have always danced and now they're more likely. And one of the things that submitting is that restaurants, if they have incidental licenses, which is only like 3 instruments, I think, that if you're in a restaurant and having a little soup, and I get emotional and then now I wanna dance, but an inspector comes in. And now an inspector comes in, it could actually fine that restaurant because there's some dancing. And so
Sure.
striking that language, so that way, not striking it, but at least that the inspector, people who don't get fined for just getting up and dancing. That's up there. No, you're in a restaurant. Right now, it's basically you're in a restaurant and you get, dancing and the inspector comes in.
Give me an example.
You won't move people dancing, but
Yeah.
that's in restaurants.
They go to a dance restaurant, they can dance balls to dance.
Yeah, but in the restaurant,
If I'm eating and they're dancing in front of me, I'd be like, what are these people?
Yeah. Have to go back and have some second order of that.
yeah, it's always, it's like a restaurant, for example. Let's on this for a second. And they have a trio, right? And it's a romance song, right? And 2 people get up and there's just start dancing, there's no space there. But an inspector walks in right now, the inspector could give them a fine for having people dancing, if that's against our ordinance. So I'm expecting that, at least that's gonna come before ordinance just to. But in the bigger picture of things, is that we're working to see more what makes sense and more clarity for these type of establishments.
Else, Graves, do you have something you'd like to add?
Not to you, but I think space definitely plays a big part in what you're talking about, because the restaurant do confirm and you barely want food to get to you. So it's like, I don't want to dance over my meal.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I understand what you're saying, that, if there is enough room to dance or do something like that, maybe we can put a certain designated, space. And I know that's not gonna be talked about tonight, decided on tonight. We want you to go do your little wine and it's all taken care of. No, the license, I know some of these clerks all over the place are overwhelmed. Are you getting any issues with your clerks or anything being overwhelmed? Okay.
Not to mine, nothing has been communicated to me or that I,
Well, let's keep it. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Well. Had a big discussion, so I appreciate it.
Thank
So
you.
much for the work you do, and thank you team for, our finance team for bearing with us. We have now completed our hearings, so thank you so much.
Thank you. You made it.
Okay, and thank you for the members for coming in. At the end, yes. All right, continue, motion to continue, may I have a motion to continue, all right, items, I just want to 225. All right, we have seconded by Councilor Gray, all in favor? All opposed, and now a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion, we adjourn, we'll go out, have some dinner, and do some dancing.
Motion made by Councilor, seconded by Councilor Stanley, all in favor? Aye.
Bye bye.
Oh, all right.
All right, never forget. Yeah, I think they have to put it in because they already.
To see more.